fan of the Hauraki Big Show podcast? Make sure you check out more from Jase, Mike and Keyzie on their Instagram at Hauraki Big Show, or tune in to them 4 to 7 every weekday on Radio Hauraki. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Get us a new sting with your pugs. I'm over that one.
Yeah. I think that one's about to expire anyway.
Is it good?
Yeah. Hey, just to let people know before we get into this podcast today, Mogi's got an itchy anus.
It is, just sort of around the rim there. So I tell you what. Well, it's to explain it properly. So for people who know, it would be impolite of me to scratch it with my finger at the moment. That would be something I'd have to do in the bathroom with a shield of either multiple folds of toilet paper or a condom.
You could do what dogs do.
Lick my own anus.
No. Do that thing where they put their sort of hind legs up and just sort of
drag my nussle on the carpet.
Yeah, drag your nuss across the carpet.
Can I just say, I think that dogs have really hit the jackpot with the layout of their back door, because it's so open, whereas the human anus is protected with the buttocks.
Yes, it is.
It's deep inside the buttocks. And so even if I wanted to, which I do,
yes,
I can't.
Yeah. And the other thing is too...
but in whose carpet? I can't do mine.
Because it's...
I could get a cut off.
Because it's encased in the buttocks, it's a bit hotter at the moment, and what you'll find is a bit more sweat, a bit more friction, a bit more irritation can often occur in that scenario. Thus, the itchiness around the rim of the anus.
Yeah, I haven't had it itchy like this for a while.
Right.
Look, I'm being... It's extremely itchy. I'm being very, very professional
At least
right now. You don't know how itchy this is.
No, I don't. I was just going to say, at least it's not likely that it's a wiping issue.
Oh, it's not a wiping issue.
No.
It's potentially an over-wiping issue.
Ah.
I often get an itchy anus.
Oh, yes. I know why.
Yeah.
No, it has nothing. It has
I'm
nothing.
sorry.
It has nothing to do with my wiping technique whatsoever. And it is. I mean, if it's right in there, forgive me for getting graphic. I'll try to not do that. You're right. It is a bit of a conundrum.
It is.
In order to address it.
You got to take yourself off.
Yes.
Back in a minute.
Do you get an itchy anus, Pugs?
On a very rare occasion, yeah. It'll sort of just strike out of nowhere, and
that's
you don't
what
know.
it's done to me today.
It's random.
It is random.
I mean, if you want, I could take a look at it. I mean, I can just see if there's any redness or rawness there.
Sure.
Or have you already tried to do that?
No, it's just come on as we've been talking right at the start of the pod.
I tell you something that is really difficult, just on that, by the way, is inspecting your own anus.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very hard to do properly.
Well, because generally it's a comparison, isn't it? So you can look at your arm and you can go, oh, that wasn't there before.
Yes.
But I see my own anus so infrequently that I wouldn't know that. And in fact, I couldn't pick my own anus out of a lineup.
Yes.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yes.
A lineup of 2. I'd get it wrong 9 times out of 10.
And that's a really good point, because
I wouldn't recognise my anus if I walked into it.
in the street. Yeah. That's a really good point, because, I mean, I could be staring directly at my anus and go, I don't know if that's normal or not.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how it is on an everyday basis, or there's something wrong with it.
Whose anus would you most easily recognise on that note? Because I'll be honest with you, I haven't looked at many.
No.
Not many.
I want to make it very clear that I'm not in the habit of looking at other people's anuses, by the way.
No.
not?
No.
That said, I would say it would be my daughter's.
Yeah, well, yes.
But even then.
Yes.
Even then, I couldn't draw you a picture of it, even if I wanted to, Pugs. Even if I wanted to.
You all right, Pugs?
Yeah.
And I don't know why you're asking me to, Pugs.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Anus chat.
But
indeed.
But, you know, having said that, I've had the roids occasionally.
Oh, steroids?
No.
For your anus?
The hemorrhoid.
Yeah, the worst of the roids.
Been there.
Which
or asteroid?
But even then, I mean, I know that I've got a bit of roid action going on, but even if I was to look at it, I couldn't tell you how it differed from my normal non-roid anus.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'd imagine it would be swollen. So
I think it's a polypy type thing. So it's a little bit of a. I think it almost looks like a blister. Right? A certain amount of it's pushed out. They say to push it back in with an ice cube. No thanks.
Yeah,
I'm not touching it.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I remember once I got. And you won't know this, Jase, because I remember I was wiping my backside.
You were getting a bleached anus.
I was wiping my backside there, and there was a bit of blood on the toilet paper, which I knew because I was looking at it. And otherwise I would have had no idea that I had a bleeding anus. And I got some suppositories.
Yes.
And I was disappointed to find that they're about the size of my thumb.
Are they?
Are they that big?
Really?
Well, potentially not that, but I was surprised how big it was.
Yes.
And it was years ago, when people went so I was enlightened, and I was like, I don't know about putting that in my butt. But I did, and I loved it. So there you go.
The Hauraki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki. The Hauraki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Can I ask why you got a suppository when you found a bit of blood on your thing?
Because I then went to the doctor who diagnosed me with hemorrhoids.
Yes.
And the treatment was suppositories.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've had a similar thing, and to my eternal credit, actually, discovered blood and went, that's not good.
No.
And about 2 years later, I thought, I've got to do something about this.
That's right. Right, that's it.
Yeah,
I'm going to do something about this.
No, to my credit, actually, I went, no, I got to go to the doctor and get this checked out. And it was really interesting, actually, because he said, what was it, an ulcer or something? He said it's probably an ulcer because he asked me to describe it.
So I don't need to describe it, mate. Have a look.
Yeah, and so he got me in the old fetal position. And I have to say, full credit to him, very efficient. So he was like, okay, let's take a look. Sunk. And I went, oh, there you go. And he was rummaging around in there.
Did he use the jaws of life to open you up there?
He did have some kind of device, but because of the position I was in, Mogi, I couldn't actually see it.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying I was on all fours, by the way.
No. Curled up on a ball on your side.
You said fetal position.
Fetal position.
On your side.
But I was genuinely amazed by his efficiency.
Sure. I think it's quite a simple
procedure.
Well, not only procedure, but I think it's pretty. The whole setup back there is pretty simple.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And
it's a bag of shit with a pipe coming out.
So he was rummaging around in there, and I was going, "Come on, find it, find it,
yeah,
find it." And he went,
"Eureka!"
There
You're
it
talking
is.
about your G-spot.
No, well, as it turns out, yeah. But no, and then he found it. And I was like, "Oh, thank God for that." So it was like an ulcer or something like that. I can't remember specifically what
because
it was.
I think,
but I had to go and get tests anyway to be sure.
Yeah, yes, for cancer.
Yes,
because I think if you've got,
which is what I immediately thought it was.
Yeah, I'm dying. Because I think if you've got blood in your stool, it's an internal issue, and blood on like your toilet paper, then that's just a surface area.
It's a rim issue.
Yeah, it's a rim.
It
ends up being a rim job. So you got to get it.
A rim job?
You got to go to the doctor and say, I'm sorry, I've got something going on back there and I'm going to need a rim job. So just ask for that, Pugs, if you ever have any issues with blood.
Yeah.
Ask for a rim job when I go to the...
Yeah.
At reception or the GP?
At reception.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you should also do what I always do if you're going to do that. If you're going to get a rim job, I get my testicles checked too.
Yes.
Because they still charge you the same amount of money.
Yeah.
And you might as well get them.
And you don't even
while
have to...
they're down there.
Don't even have to check them, just hold them.
Yeah. I just say, if you could cradle my testicles as well... that would be good just to make sure that they all seem tickety-boo because...
It's just occurred to me Brooke has to listen back to this.
Yes, I know.
Yes, she does. And has to find a clip.
Also, you know, I don't know, I've been slightly put off by the idea of Brooke listening to this now, but
it's only been going for 9
minutes. She can hear it anyway.
Unbalanced testicle.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that's pretty normal.
Yeah. So I like to make sure that, you know, I mean, I remember going to the doctor once and going, I mean, for God's sake, look at the right testicle. It's a foot below my left, testicle.
Yeah. It's a foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up to a foot below, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, Surely not. But what funny thing I found, actually, what you can do is actually pull quite firmly on the other testicle. It's like a drawstring in your trackies.
That's right.
You know,
It's like
That's right. You can
Yeah,
have
mate,
them
you
out.
just get the balance.
You just pull it
Yeah.
through.
right.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Geez, you've learned a lot today,
I know,
Pugs.
it's been crazy. It's do we
I'm
need
looking forward to our Keyzie word of the day.
Your Hauraki Big Show Keyzie word of the day is...
Pugs, you sick bastard.
I just
And I think on that note, actually, we should be when we get the winner on the show.
Yeah.
we should read out what they are, not ask the person what they are because
No,
they'll
but
never
just
know.
have
But we
them.
should say them because I think they're of interest to people.
Well,
But what were they talking about? That is a keyword from their
Yes.
podcast.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
it's also a good reminder for us.
I remember a couple from last week.
What were they?
Cowboy.
don't
One was
remember that.
one was pool. Another was pool boy.
Paul makes sense.
Yes, I remember that.
And then there was something else.
I don't remember Paul Boy. Oh, vaguely. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff, mate.
Follow us on Instagram. Speaking of the Keyzie words, send them all into Hauraki Big Show with your number at the end of the week, and we could call you on Monday with a prize. Follow us on Insta, Hoity J, Mr. Mike Minogue, Call Me Pugs. Don't follow Chris Key NZ. And do we need to do a disclaimer for anus chat or?
I think it's good
I
medical
think
knowledge.
I think a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. Thanks, mate.